Welcome to our program on Kardec Radio.
Friends, thank you for joining me today. My name is RIana, and today is the program from the book Living Spring by Emmanuel through Chico Xavier. Today is again a beautiful message by Emmanuel, and it is chapter 84, Instruments. How will one know what is being played on the flute and sitar? And it's Paul in 1 Corinthians 14 verses 7. Christian workers should all consider themselves to be instruments in the hand of the Divine Master, so that the sublime harmony of the gospel may be reprehensible for the complete victory of the good. We just make sure it doesn't look as if the things are working here. Sorry. I hope you can see the video. It doesn't look like the video is showing, so please forgive me. I'm having some difficulty with accessing everything, so that the sublime harmony of the gospel may be apprehensible for the complete victory of the good. However, although the unlimited wisdom of the heavenly sender remains sovereign and perfect, earthly receivers show lamentable deficiencies. One has faith but cannot tolerate his neighbor's imperfection. Another endures with Christian charity the weaknesses of her brother and sister, but does not have the strength to control her own impulses. Another is benevolent and trustworthy, but avoids study and meditation in favor of ignorance. Still another is imaginative and enthusiastic, but subtly avoids actual doing physical work. This one is an excellent counselor, but does not sanctify her own action. That one is outstanding doctrinal preacher, but is also fond of telling undignified stories, with which he shows irreverence for the revelation he bears. There is yet another that observes physical charity, but cannot control her ambition for easy money. And lastly, there is one that has managed to detach himself from gold, land, houses, and delicacies, but feeds a veritable fire in the flesh. One cannot argue about the imperfection as followers of the good news. That is why we are still learners. The planet is not a finished paradise, and we are very far from angelhood. However, obeying, managing, teaching, or fighting, it is essential that we tune our instruments of endeavor to the diapason of the Master if we do not wish to impair his works. Let us avoid the unsure, indistinct, and disturbing performances of our thoughts, offering him our complete goodwill in whatever we do, and the divine kingdom will manifest itself more quickly wherever we may be. Again, beloved friends, what a beautiful chapter by Emmanuel. Today, instruments, the the head or the chapter's name is instruments. To think about what is it to be an instrument? The instrument of Jesus, the instrument of God. And Emmanuel has explained it quite well to us today. He's telling us that because we are still on earth and we are not yet in the running for angelhood, but we are still practicing being human, we should always remember to forgive our neighbor and to see where we are at our road of evolution and in everything we do, so that we can be servants and examples in all things we do, regardless of where we are placed. We should be there and work, because everything that we need will come into our experience. And this is why we have to have a heart of gratitude constantly in everything we do. We have to say thank you. We have to practice, use this practice of gratitude in everything. And I know sometimes it will feel, beloved friends, that it is hard. And why do we think we have to go through certain things? But if we look at ourselves, is that we are entrusted by God with certain trials and expiations so that we can have an opportunity to know ourselves and to see where we should still work on. How can we change? What can we incorporate into our lives so that we can not only change ourselves but be of inspiration to everyone around us? So, to be an inspiration, beloved friends, means that we should seek the good, mold the good with all the resources that we can find, and know that through the effort of willingness, to be willing to work, willing to change, willing to help, willing to serve, God will open up so that we can have more. Maybe we are only now practicing, like we heard this afternoon, to do more. So, in the practice of going back home one day, and we don't know when that will be, what will we be continuing when we go back? And we have to think about that constantly so that we can be in a mindset of thankfulness, in a mindset of giving, in a mindset of serving, so that we can be, so that we can continue the work that God has asked us to do in this incarnation. And Emmanuel's also talking about those who think they don't have to study and meditate. We have to have a godly order in our daily routine. It should be the thing that we are focused upon mostly. It should be on the hour, on the minute, in everything we do, so that we can constantly do something to bring our minds back, not to get too busy with everything that's going on around us, but to bring our minds back, to meditate, to catch our breath, so that we can focus again, gather ourselves and focus on the good, and then be still and ask what we can do and what is expected of us as well. This is a very beautiful chapter again. And there are so many lessons coming to us through the day, each day, 24/7, through Kodak Radio, which inspire us all to work more, to do more, to serve more, to look at ourselves. And all these beautiful messages is messages of love. Because, beloved friends, God loves us unconditionally. And unconditional is still a word that we do not quite grasp. It is still something that through our trials and through our work we will one day fully, maybe, understand what the meaning of that is. Jesus, our Master, and he understood that unconditional love. And then you ask me, how can we be joyful, be happy in everything that's going on? Jesus was incarnated also in a very trial or hard time on earth, and he was always joyful, but a peaceful joy, and that is something that we still need to learn in ourselves. It is to be peaceful and happy, because we think that to be happy and joyful we need to be out there and laugh and that, but to be at peace and joyful is something that we still need to teach ourselves. Thank you so much for joining me again. May God bless us all and through this week so that we can open ourselves up to learn more. And not only learn, but so that we can take these lessons and give it out to others. And sometimes just by praying, sometimes just by being there, but the willingness. If we are willing, God will open up the doors so that we can be of help to others. Thank you so much for joining me, beloved friends. God bless. Until next time, thank you so much. Bye bye.